Welcome to the Class of Kings. What is the name of the lesson?
Cultural
Anybody?
heritage.
Our cultural heritage, right? Lesson number 3. So we are already in a very good position when it comes to our syllabus. We are already starting unit number 3. I don't think many schools have even touched unit number 3, but I think, yeah, this month we can finish unit number 3. Maximum 1 or 2 weeks next month we're gonna finish it. And then only 2 lessons are there, right? I promised, we can finish by August or maybe maximum September. We can completely finish the syllabus. Okay. Yeah. So we are now picking up the speed. Okay. So 2 lessons already completed, and after we complete this lesson, we have completed more than half of the syllabus. Yeah. Okay. All right. So our cultural heritage, this is the lesson. I made a tude for this, but I haven't completed that. I'm just working on it. I will share with you next week, maybe. Yeah. But anyway, this is enough for us to learn our today's lesson. And this lesson is not a very long lesson, but there are some important things to discuss. Many things. Not only what is there in the book, but I will also teach you something extra from the book, right? Okay. And yeah, because that knowledge is very important. Okay, right. So let's get started, and we will start the lesson, and when the time permits we will do some questions from our previous 2 lessons. Okay, after the question. Any newcomers today? New joiners? Anybody? New joiners? I sent some links to new students. No? Okay, no problem. Right. Maybe later.
How many pages are on this YouTube?
In the Teutpude, I haven't planned it. I will give you the notes, okay? Maybe 8 to 10 pages normally. Try to keep it short, okay? Maybe 8 to 10 pages, but here I'm just still working on it, okay? Yeah, right. Right. So let's get started. This says our cultural heritage, okay? Now, before we learn about cultural heritage, you know what is culture? Okay, culture we already learned in unit number 1. Anybody can tell me what is the meaning of culture? Anybody? Yes?
Various traditions.
Okay. Various traditions, beliefs, yeah.
Various
Customs, very good. Yes, customs, practices, yes, practices, beliefs, traditions, customs, lifestyle. The combination. Yes, very good. The combination of all that a particular society has. Now, Sri Lankan society has our own culture that is called the Sri Lankan culture, right? Respecting the elders, for example. Yeah, this is in our culture, okay? Respecting the elders, respecting the teachers, right? Celebrating various festivals, eating rice as our main food. That is a tradition. That is our culture. That is our tradition. Rice is our main food. Bread is not our main meal, right? Rice is our main meal. That is all part of the culture. Okay, so that is culture. We already learned about this. Now, what is heritage? What is the meaning of the word heritage? Heritage means, Budaya, what you get from the previous generations. We call it inheriting. Okay, inheriting. This we learned before. You remember inheritance of kingship and all, right? So inheriting means you are getting something from the previous generations. Okay, we are inheriting. So you can inherit anything. Okay, you can inherit anything like what, Pude? You can inherit things, no? Okay, you can inherit things like properties. Okay, or kingship like posts you can inherit. So the kings inherited kingship from their fathers, for example. Okay, that is how the kings became kings. their father or their brother was a previous king, so they inherited the kingship from the previous king. This is called inheriting. Inheriting means passing from one generation to another. It can be properties, it can be posts like kingship or like high officer in the government. A post like that can also be passed from one person to another, one generation to another. Or you can also inherit knowledge. Can you inherit knowledge? Can you get some unique special knowledge from your father or from your grandfather or from your previous generation? Can you? What do you think?
Yes.
Special knowledge? Yes, secret knowledge. Sometimes, secret knowledge. For example, doctors, our ancient doctors, we have our own medicine methods, right? Ayurvedic medicine method, you might have heard, right? Yes. So we have normally in Sri Lanka, we practice both the types, right? So if you go to the hospital, they will treat you in the Western medicine way. Western medicine is European style. But if you go to Vedamahatya, if you broke your arm or leg, sometimes mostly you will go to the Vedamahatya. If you like, have a sprain or something, he will put pattu. Anybody had a pattu before? Yeah, anybody had a pattu or something like oil treatment from Ayurvedic doctor? Yes, anybody? So that is our own thing, that is our own medicine, right? So that knowledge is special as well. So that can also be inherited. So not only things can be inherited like properties, or not only posts like kingships or high positions in the government can be passed from generation to generation, but also knowledge, practices, lifestyles, these things can also be inherited or passed from generation to generation. Okay. So heritage means, no, culture you already know. Heritage means property. Property can be touchable or untouchable. Okay, property. Like for example, medicine, knowledge, you cannot touch knowledge. Okay, you cannot touch knowledge. But property, can you touch? Can you touch a land? Can you touch a palace? Yes, we can touch a palace. We can touch a land. We can touch furniture. Those things are tangible. We call them tangible. Tangible means touchable. You can touch with your hands. And intangible means properties that cannot be touched, like knowledge, traditions, customs, lifestyle. These things we cannot touch. Okay. Folk poems, for example, knowledge or about medicine, knowledge about agriculture. Agriculture, we had a lot of knowledge, right? You remember what we learned in unit number 1, yeah, when we discussed agriculture. Yes, different styles of agriculture, farming, chain of farming, paddy field cultivation, the tools that we used. These are all very unique. These are all our heritage. Okay. So we can inherit various properties. We can inherit from the previous generations. We can get properties that we can touch, or things we cannot touch, like knowledge about medicine, agriculture. Those things we cannot touch, like the folk poems, folk dances, dancing practices. Dancing we cannot touch, no. The person who is dancing we can touch, but the dancing is an art. So arts and crafts we cannot touch. Okay. So they are called intangible, right? Because we cannot touch. Tangible means things that we can touch. So both the things, tangible and intangible, properties that we inherit from previous generations, is called heritage. This is our heritage. This is our heritage. We have palaces built thousands of years ago. Now tell me, is it tangible heritage or intangible heritage? We have Sigiriya, example. We have Sigiriya built 1500 years ago. Now tell me, is it our cultural heritage? 1500 years ago. Is it our heritage or no? Did we inherit it from a previous generation? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes. Is it tangible or intangible? Can you touch
Tangible.
it?
Tangible.
Tangible. Okay. Is it a cultural heritage because of that? Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Then the Ayurvedic medicine that we have today, especially, when I have a sprain or something, I don't go to the hospital, but I go to the Veda Mahatya, okay, Ayurvedic doctor. He will put a pattu, he will put some oil, and then I feel better that way, right? Okay. Go in the hospital. When you go to the hospital, they just give some painkillers and they just put a plaster that, you know, and gall bandage kill again. Yeah. They put that plaster and send. But yeah, I feel better that way because like I prefer Ayurvedic medicine. Okay. This Ayurvedic medicine is tangible or intangible heritage we have.
Intangible heritage.
Intangible heritage, exactly, because that's a knowledge. We cannot touch it. Yes. But is it a heritage that we have? That's the question. Is it
Yes.
our cultural heritage?
Yes.
Because we don't see the same methods in many countries, right? It is unique. There's no other Sigirias, there's no copies of Sigiria in the world, right? So that is also our unique cultural heritage, we can say. Okay. So that's about the that is how you define, or that is how you that is how you that is the meaning of cultural heritage that we just discussed. Okay, so this lesson is about cultural heritage, and we will talk not only about Sri Lanka's cultural heritage, we will also talk a little about world cultural heritage in this lesson, and we will talk about both tangible and intangible, or touchable and untouchable types of heritages. Okay, so that is the plan for this lesson. It's a very important lesson. This is the middle lesson in your syllabus, so this is kind of like a bridge between the first two lessons and the last two lessons, I would say. Okay, right. Any questions? Please ask if you have any questions. Who's there today? Yashin, you are new student today. Yashin, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You are new, no, Pute? You came today, right?
Yes.
All right. Zafar, you got good marks, I heard. Is it true? I heard you got good marks. What about Munsif? Munsif, you told me, right? You got good marks last week, right? Yeah. You told me, I remember. So almost everybody got better marks, and a few students we will discuss. Okay, we will have a phone call, right, to discuss. And when you get your paper, send me, okay, if you want to discuss. If you scored low marks, I want to see your papers, okay? And then we can discuss on what areas to improve. I will give you a plan, okay? So you can work according to the plan and get your marks increased, right? Okay. Right. Now we will talk a little, few examples for tangible heritage and intangible heritage, okay? So we will remember a few examples, okay? Because in the exam, they might ask you, give 3 examples for tangible heritage types. Give 3 examples for intangible heritage. So we will learn them. While we are learning them, we will also write them, because when we write them, we remember better. So these things, examples, we will write Pute. Okay, right. So there are tangible heritages, like I said before. Heritage means things, properties that we get from the previous generations. So cultural heritage means those properties that are connected to our culture. That is why we call them our cultural heritage. And there are 2 types of heritage, that is tangible and intangible. Tangible means things that we can touch. Intangible means things that we cannot touch. So examples for tangible heritage, we have buildings, we have religious places like temples, for example, built many hundreds or thousands of years ago, right? Ruanvali Saya, for example. Ruanvali Saya is built more than 2200 years ago. Okay. Sigiriya is built more than 1500 years ago. And tanks like Parakrama Samudra, then we have Kala Weber. These are very important tanks. Kala Weber, Minneriya Weber, Parakrama Samudra. Parakrama Samudra is built more than 800 years ago. Kalava was built more than 1500 years ago. So we have these things that we can touch, okay? Tanks and ponds. Then we have canals, dams. We have palaces. A Sigire is like a fortress and a palace, combination of both. So religious places are mainly temples and monasteries. And we have fortresses. Sigire is a good example for a fortress as well. And we have tanks built so many years ago. We have ponds. We have several ponds like Kuttam Pokuna. Kuttam Pokuna is called the twin pond, the two identical ponds. Okay, they look similar. Then we have many ponds like this, beautiful ponds. Okay, yeah. And then canals, we have canals. Canals are basically waterways, man-made waterways to carry water from one place to another. They are also part of our heritage because there's so much technology used in building those canals. And dams are also part of our heritage because we can touch the dams. So that is tangible heritage here. And books, we can also touch books, old books, but books can belong into both the heritages. Okay, the book we can touch with it. The book, sometimes the book is important, so the book we can touch, that's gonna be tangible heritage. But the knowledge in that book, the information in that book, we cannot touch. Okay, the knowledge we cannot touch, no? The knowledge we can learn, so that will become intangible heritage. Everybody got the difference, right? Yes. So the book itself, the paper book or whatever the book is made out of, we can touch, but the knowledge we cannot touch. That's gonna go to intangible heritage, remember. So examples for intangible heritage, traditions and customs. Simple example, we have a tradition when we are welcoming elders, we give a sheaf of betel leaf. Bulat tatak deno again. Have you done this? For Aurudu and all, you do this, right? Yeah. So normally, you see, when we are welcoming somebody important, you know, or we are welcoming an elder or something like that, or we are starting a new year or something like that, we have this practice of giving a sheath of betel, right? Bulat tatak denokil again. So then yeah, so that is how you welcome people. And then welcoming or getting the blessings like this, right? So that is a tradition. Okay, that is a tradition of our society, right? And then that cannot be touched. Okay, yeah, we can touch the beetle, but that giving the action of offering a sheath of beetle, we cannot touch. That is a practice. So practice we cannot touch. Okay, that is a tradition. That's part of the tradition, right? And then knowledge on medicine we cannot touch. We cannot touch various medicine types that we are using, the practices that we are using. These things we cannot touch. We can touch the medicine, we can touch the oil or whatever, but we cannot touch the art or the knowledge uh, on medicine, right? Secret treatment methods, for example. Yes, okay. Then we cannot touch agriculture. Yeah, we can touch the paddy fields, we can touch the tools used in agriculture, we can touch the cattle used in or animal used in agriculture, but we cannot touch agriculture. Agriculture is a practice. Okay, so there's knowledge involved in agriculture, so that will fall into intangible heritage. Okay, the dancers, we can touch the dancers but not the dance. Can you touch a dance? No, because the dance is an art. Okay, it's an art. It's it's a knowledge, right? So it's a practice, it's a cultural thing, and it's an art as well. So we cannot touch arts. Yes. And then folk songs, we cannot touch the songs. We can touch the book that the song is written, but not the song, right? So folk songs that are coming for many generations, they are all intangible heritage. And arts and crafts, like I mentioned before, dances, paintings, the painting art, we cannot touch it. Then the sculpture means Pute, the art of building statues, we cannot touch. We cannot touch the practice. Statue we can touch, but the art of building or carving statues we cannot touch. That is the knowledge, right? So those things are intangible heritages. So whatever we can touch, Whatever we can touch that is coming from the previous generation, we call it tangible. Like I mentioned before, religious places, palaces, fortresses, tanks, ponds, canals, dams, these things we can touch. But various knowledges that are coming from the past, traditions and customs, and knowledge about medicine, knowledge about agriculture, dances, folk songs, arts and crafts, we cannot touch. So they will fall into intangible heritage. Okay, so let's answer a question before we move on to the next part. Everybody okay? Right. Write 3 examples for below. Write it down to there and answer the question. Tangible heritage. 3 examples each, okay? For below mentioned cultural heritages. Practice question, okay? So give me 3 examples for tangible heritage. Put a small topic and write it. Give me 3 examples for intangible heritage. Yes, Bude?
Tangible Sigiri.
Sigiri is tangible. No, not like that. I want types. Sigiri is an example. Sigiri is an example, a real example for something. I need types. Yeah. We need types. We will go with types. We will not go with specific examples. So if you want, you can do something like this. If you know, okay, Sigiri is what, Pude? It's a fortress mainly, okay? Yeah, fortress, rock fortress. Yeah. So you can write fortress, fortresses. That is a tangible heritage. Give example Sigiri like this. Okay. Yeah.
Tanks.
Thanks. Very good. Yes. Thanks. Vaukila Singalinkan. Yes. Very good. Anything
Ponds.
else? Ponds. Very good. Anything else? One thing you missed, a
Irrigation
very
system.
important thing. Religious constructions, yeah, like temples. Yes. You can write that. Give example.
Palace.
Give example if you have. Palaces, yes, very good. You can write a few, okay? 3 at least. Then this one also you can write. Let's take 2 minutes. Everybody try to write alone. And we'll
Excuse
take
me,
2 minutes
sir.
and be back. Yes, Uday.
Should we write like the examples like fortresses, tanks, like that, or should we write the specific name for it? Like, see,
No, I'm not expecting you to write the specific names here. But within brackets, you can write if you remember something for this. Okay? Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Better, no? Better. Because that will make the answer very complete. Okay? Yeah. Like, very strong. So if you remember, write it. If you want examples, tell me. All right? I will help you. But we will take 2 minutes. Try to write alone. We will see you after 2 minutes. Try to give with examples. Let's do it alone and see. And then we will discuss. Okay? Yeah. Okay with it. So everybody tried. Not a big deal, right?
Sir,
Not a
I'm
big
not.
activity. Yeah, all right. So tell me, Bude, what you wrote? Anybody? Did you try to write some examples?
Yes, sir.
I wrote
Okay.
religious places, Dalada Maliga.
Places, yes, religious places, Dalada Malika, very good. Yeah, well done. Yes. Then
Sir,
good example, right?
For,
Yeah,
sir, for books as tangible heritage, can you take Mahavamsa?
exactly. Yes. Mahavansha you can touch, but the information in Mahavansha you cannot touch. So books will belong to both, right? The book itself can be tangible because the book has to be protected, right? Because that's the only book that we have like that, but the knowledge in that book, we can copy that to another book also. But the book itself is important. Yes. Mahavansha you can write, or you can write like various historical texts. Give general answer, like all the books that are very old, right? No problem. You can write like this. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Parakrama
Example? Parakrama Samudra. Yes. Tell me a few tanks you know.
Mahavali.
Minneriya tank.
Minneriya tank. Mahavali is a river, okay? Mahavali is a river, not a tank. Okay. Mahavali river is the longest river in the country. Okay. So it is a river. It is not a heritage. Okay, it's a natural thing. Heritage means what we are getting from our previous generations. Okay, remember? Yeah. So Mahavali is not our heritage. It's our property. It's like it's our country's asset, but you can't call it heritage because Mahavali nobody built it. Okay, it was a natural thing, right? Yeah, it is a natural river, right? Yes. Anybody? Anything else?
Sir,
You
I
wrote for
got
tangible.
temples. Is that correct?
Okay. It's okay, yes.
Sir,
And give me example.
I don't do one like sir.
Very good. Yes. Well done.
So canals.
Canals, yes. You know any canals built by people?
Parakrama Samudra.
Parakrama Samudra is a tank to store water. Canals, anybody? I'll tell you. Yeah. Two very important canals. Yeah, canals built by kings. Anybody know any names of canals? Okay. Canals in Sinhala, we call them Ala, okay? So Yoda Ala is also called Jayaganga. This is a very important canal. And Alahara Ala. So remember the word Ala means canal, okay? Ala. Ganga means river. Ala means canal. So we had two canals, very important canals. Yoda Ala is built by King Dhatusena. Yoda Ala is also called Jayaganga. And Alahara Ala was built by King Vasabha. Later other kings also, made it long and maintained it. So Alahara Ala and Yoda Ala, very important canals, okay? They are man-built. They were built by kings. That means our previous generations. That means it is our cultural heritage. Yes. And we can touch the canal, we can touch the canal and the water. So it is a tangible heritage. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And intangible, who wrote for intangible? What did you write for intangible? I want to know.
I wrote knowledge, art and crafts, dances.
Okay, knowledge. When we say knowledge about what? We will be specific there. Knowledge on medicine.
Medicine.
Okay.
Sir,
Knowledge on medicine or secret medicine types. Yes.
Agriculture.
what dances, knowledge on medicine and arts.
Yeah, knowledge on agriculture. Very good. Yes. Dances, traditional dances. Yes. You know any
Folk
traditional
song.
dance we have? Anybody know any
dancing.
traditional? Candian dancing. Udarata natum kila kiyana. Udarata kiyane candy. Udarata. Yeah. Mountain region, right? Mountain country. Then only Udarata natum we have.
Western dance.
Western dance is our thing or Sri Lankan thing or from another country. Yeah. We have different dance types, right? We call them, yeah, Sri Lankan traditional dances are there. Then Western dances are there. Bollywood dance, okay. Bollywood dance is also there, right? Those are other countries. No, but we'll talk about Sri Lanka's. Our cultural heritage, okay? This lesson is about our cultural heritage, Sri Lanka's cultural heritage. We'll talk about Sri Lanka's dancers. Sri Lanka has mainly there are many dancers, folk dancers, many things are there. Among them, we have three main types of dancers, okay? Udarata natum, or Candian dancing as we call it. Then Pahatarata natum, low country dances, Pahatarata natum. Then Sabaragamu also there, okay? Sabaragamu is the Ratnapura Kagal, this area. They also have their own style of dancing. Pahatarata is this Colombo, this area, the other areas. Udarata is the Candian area mainly, okay? So there are different styles of dances. You can see them if you are watching a Perahara, you can see all types of dances, okay? Yes. Right. Then dances are intangible, right? You can't touch. It's an art, right? Yes. Anything else, Uday?
Vision,
Intangible. Sorry?
vision,
Vision. What did you say?
vision says looking like seeing.
No, that is it a heritage? My question is it something that you got from the previous generation? That is our feature, right? Yeah. No, look, heritage means with something that is valuable, that is coming from the previous generation that we have to protect. Because it's heritage, it's our unique knowledge, it's our unique thing. It is our asset, it is our property. So dances are our property, right? Because it is Sri Lankan. There's no Kandyan dancing in India.
Sir,
There's no Kandyan dancing in USA. It is a Sri Lankan thing. It is coming from generations, hundreds of years. And this art is going on for hundreds of years. That is a very important knowledge that we have of art. So that is
Excuse
why
me.
it's a heritage. Okay. Yeah.
Can festivals come into intangible heritages?
Okay. A festival is a practice, right? Yeah. Like a practice that we celebrate. So there are traditions and you know what I mean? Traditions and customs. So festivals will come under traditions and customs. So the main, yeah, the main topic will be under intangible heritage, traditions and customs. Festivals will come under that. Okay, yeah.
So is it
Festivals are
okay if
part
I
of the
write it
tradition
as
and
like
customs.
intangible heritages?
Intangible heritage, you can say traditions and customs, and within brackets, you can say festivals. You know, you can name a festival that you like, no problem, as an example for a tradition and custom. Okay. So they festivals are traditional celebrations. Yes. Now why are you okay? Take it like this. Okay, simple example. Right. Now last month we had Aurudu. Right. Many of us celebrated Aurudu. Yes. So this Aurudu you celebrated. Oh, so many generations are celebrating from the ancient times. Oh, only you started it. Who started it? Yeah. Who started celebrating Aurudu? How many years ago? So many years ago, right? We started celebrating this so many years ago. So that is part of our what put tradition and culture. Yes? Yeah. So that is a festival, right? So the celebration of that festival is part of our tradition and culture. So that is a good example for intangible heritage. But when I say intangible heritage, tradition and custom means everything. Celebrating festivals, respecting elders, like simple practices like giving a sheath of betel, offering a sheath of arabulata tak like and these things, saying ayubowan. Yeah, have you seen saying ayubowan? Yeah, you go somewhere. Mainly you will see when you go to the plane, Sri Lankan Airlines, they will tell
Schools.
ayubowan. In school also, exactly, yes. Now mostly they say good morning and all. But ayubowan is our traditional greeting. Even when somebody from Europe comes, we say ayubowan. You know the meaning of ayubowan, anybody? Ayu kilagane manada?
Don't know.
Ayu kilagane ayusha, meaning you live, living. Okay, your age, like that, right? Ayusha kilagane your living time. And bowan kilagane bowenava, meaning grow. So may you live long. Ayubo eva kenne. Okay. So our traditional greetings meaning is that Ayubo veva නැත්නම් Ayubowan කියන්නේ you should have a long life. That is a greeting. That is our greeting. See, we wish that people live long. That is our greeting. Okay. So different cultures have different greetings. No, yes. Yeah. So when we say like the Western culture, we say according to the day, right? Yeah, according to the day, we say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, right? And then happy weekend, goodbye. These are Western greetings. Okay, so Ayubowan, we can tell anytime, anywhere, right? We can tell anytime and anywhere. Ayubowan. We can say when we are meeting somebody, we can say Ayubowan. When we are leaving somebody, we can say Ayubowan. In the morning, we can say Ayubowan. In the night also, we can say Ayubowan. No problem. Okay. That is our own greeting. Yes. Okay. Sri Lankan style. Yes. Others are all copied. It came from other countries. Okay. This is our own thing. That is why when you travel by plane, for example, if you are traveling by Sri Lankan Airlines, they'll say Ayubowan. Because that's our own, our cultural thing, right? Okay. Greetings. Yes. Greetings, all traditions and customs. Okay. Intangible. You can't touch. You can't touch this. Practice no put Ayubowan. Can you touch Ayubowan? Come here. Here we go. Put it in my put Ayubowan in your pocket. You cannot do that, right? Why? Because you cannot touch it. It's intangible heritage. It is our customs. It is our tradition. Anything else? Anybody wrote any other examples?
Folk
No,
songs.
sir.
Folk
Sorry?
songs.
Folk songs. Yeah, exactly. We have a lot of folk songs. Okay. I also taught you some, you remember? Like, when we were discussing about agriculture and everything, chain farming, remember? So like folk songs, we have a full set of folk songs used in multiple industries. Okay, in multiple means many. We have folk songs that are dedicated to many professions. Okay, let me tell you a few, right? Few. We have folk songs normally we call Janakavi. Okay, in Sinhala. Jana means pute, Janaya means public, people. Kavi means poems. Okay, so folk poems, if you translate to Sinhala, it will be Janakavi. We will learn more. It's coming. Intangible heritage. Intangible heritage we will discuss in deep later, but I will give you a general idea so you know now what we are going to learn in this lesson, right? So folk poems based on the various professions, we had various types of folk poems. I will write a few here, okay? We had something called Palkavi. You remember this one we learned already. Remember? Palkavi. Who sang these poems? Anybody?
Farmers.
Farmers. What farmers?
Mm,
Paddy field farmers or chain farmers?
Chain of farmers.
Chain farmers, okay. How? Why? Why do you say that? Why not paddy
Who
field farmers?
scare animals away who harm crops.
Okay. You remember when we discussed about chain cultivation? I told you that big trees were not cut and one big tree was used to make a watch hut, right? In that. Yes. And the chain farmer would go in the night and keep guard of the chain farm because wild animals will come and attack his crops. So he would stay here protecting his chain land in the night. And now it's boring. Staying awake all night, it is boring, right? No phones, no internet those days, Yeah. Now you take the phone and you go and you watch something, movie or something like that, then the animals will come and eat all the stuff and go, right? Okay. So those days, nothing. And then people had to kill the boredom, right? You got to kill the boredom. So people introduced poems. And this type of poems that were sung in these watch huts are called Palkavi. Why? Because the watch hut is called Pala in Sinhala. A watch hut like this, a tree house like this is called Pala in Sinhala. And Palkavi means the poems sung while at the top of the watch huts. We have several other folk poems as well, like Karatta Kavi. Karatta
Goyam.
Kavi, Goyam Kavi, Nelum Kavi, Karatta Kavi, Paru Kavi, Goyam Kavi, Paru Kavi, Karatta Kavi. Karatta Kavi are sung by people who operated the carts, who travel long distances by bullock carts. Karatta. Gon Karatta Kilegan, Galgon. You remember? Galgon, we learned this word. Galgon is the other cattle that are used in the carts. Yes, Galgon we learned in unit number 1. You remember this word. So Karatha Kavi are sung by people who operated the carts. So these people take goods from one city to another city. Sometimes it takes like 2 days like this to travel from city to city, because those days the road system was not good, and also we didn't have transport. We all had transport like, you know, carts. So people are bored, you know, sometimes no houses, nothing for many kilometers. So only you are on the road alone. So you are bored now. You are very, yeah. Then the bull is also pulling the cart, and then to kill the boredom, they introduced Karatta Kavi. Okay, yeah. Then Goyam Kavi are done by farmers, paddy cultivators, right? And then Paru Kavi means those who are operating the boats in the waterways like canals or tanks. You know, they are called Paru Kavi. Okay, Paru Kilikani, the watercraft, raft as we call it, the raft, not like a boat exactly, but the flat raft. So people who took rafts, either transporting people or taking the rafts to catch fish or harvest some flowers and everything in the tanks, and these kind of people who use this parua or these types of boats called parua, they are like raft type boats, and they also sang their own poems. So those are some examples for folk poems. Okay, then dances also I gave you examples: Udaratanatum, Pahataranatum, Sabaragamunatum. You know, we have three main types of dances. Okay, yeah. Then they are culture, they are part of our culture. Okay, so those things you can write. Uday, I believe everybody wrote. Any examples, any help you need, let me know, right, in writing answers to this. Yeah, anybody want to check the answers, let me know, right? Okay, everybody okay so far? So good.
Yeah.
Everybody understand, right? Okay, now Uday, we will go to another very important section. Okay, that is world cultural heritages. Now we were talking about Sri Lanka's cultural heritage, right? We have palaces, we have books, we have tanks, we have folk poems, we have folk dances, or we have traditional dances, we have our tradition, we have our customs. This is what we were learning for the past 1 hour. Okay. Now we will talk about the world, right? What does it mean to have cultural heritages in the world, and what is the concept behind this? Right? So now we were very proud about our country, right? Now there's no Canadian dancing in India. India has Bollywood dancing. India has different dancing types, many, like different dances are there, no, in India. Then in Europe they have their Western dancing styles, and Sri Lanka we have our own styles. Okay, so we were talking about Sri Lanka's things. We were proud about our cultural heritage, but let's take a look at the whole world. Same like us, other countries also have their own heritages. You need to understand that India has a very rich heritage. India has many dance types, many cultural sites or historical sites like temples, religious places, palaces, and these things. India has many uh, uh, important places and important knowledge and stuff. Similarly, other countries also have. Okay, so other countries also have their valuable cultural heritages, not only our country. So like our country, other countries in the world also have their own cultural heritages which are very valuable. Now there's an organization called UNESCO. Okay, let's write this down. Right, there's an organization called UNESCO. There's a big organization called United Nations. Okay, this is the biggest organization in the world. This organization is made by countries. 193 countries got together today. 193 countries are members of this organization today. Okay, so this is, we can say, the biggest organization in the world. Is it? Is there any other organization with more than 193 countries as members? No. That is why this organization is called United Nations or United Nations Organization. Sri Lanka is a member of this organization. India is a member of this organization. USA is a member of this organization. United Kingdom or England, countries like that, France, Japan, China, Australia, Brazil, Russia, Germany, all these countries are members of this organization. And this organization is called what today? United Nations Organization, or you can also simply call it United Nations. Okay, both are correct. Under this organization, Pute, there's a council, there's another big organization called ECOSOC. ECOSOC. Okay. This organization is called Economic and Social Organization. Okay. Economic and so ECOSOC means economic and social. Okay. Economic and social. ECOSOC. You see this one? Eco means economic, SOC means social, right? So that is how they made the abbreviation of this. Okay, let's write that in capital. ECOSOC, Economic and Social Organization. I will show you some. I will show you in Google as well. Okay. So ECOSOC means United Nations Economic and Social Council. Okay. Yeah. United Nations Economic and Social Council. This is called ECOSOC. Under United Nations. United Nations organization is the biggest organization in the world. And the main function of the United Nations organization is to make sure that people in the world are friendly, okay? Like not fighting each other, to maintain international peace and security, and help each other, help each other sharing knowledge and make everybody friendly, okay, in the world. This is the main goal of the United Nations organization. Here, this one, big organization. Under this, we have 1 minute. Yeah, under this, we have a sub-organization, we can say, the ECOSOC or United Nations Economic and Social Council. Okay. So the main purpose of the ECOSOC is to help each other, to help the countries in the world when it comes to economic and social affairs, okay, like culture, economy. If any country has a poor economy, ECOSOC or this council will help, right? This council has more organizations under this. They will help, okay? Our goal now is not to learn about the United Nations, but I have to give you a little idea about what is UNESCO. That is why I took this one, okay? So UNESCO is part of this huge organization called United Nations. And UNESCO is the organization that helps in cultural heritages or world cultural heritages or world heritages, okay? So here we learned about two organizations. 1 minute. Okay. So under United Nations today we have ECOSOC, and not exactly under this, but this organization called UNESCO will closely work with this organization, this part, and UNESCO will directly work with United Nations, the main body as well. Okay. So No need to think too much now. Remember this thing. UNESCO is an organization under the United Nations organization. And UNESCO stands for United Nations. See, U is for United, N is for Nations, E for Economic, sorry, E for Educational, S for Scientific, C for Cultural, and Cultural Organization. This is the full form of UNESCO.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Are they going to ask what UNESCO stands for?
They will not ask, but you will learn, right? For your future. Okay. Yeah. When you learn, yeah. So I always like to teach a little extra for you because you will need this in your future. Okay. And also it is easy for you to remember when you learn a little extra. The book just say UNESCO. The book doesn't say anything about UNESCO. I don't like this. Sometimes, as a teacher, I don't like this. I want you to have some background knowledge, right? Yeah. So sometimes you are learning, okay? Sometimes you are learning something, but you don't know why you are learning it. So this is not how you should be learning. Okay. You should be learning in the proper way. And I don't look, the book is not complete. The book is not complete. If I wrote this book, I will write it better. So some areas in the book I don't like as a teacher. That is why there are teachers to teach you better than the book, right? Yeah, that is why we take some extra stuff to help you understand better. Yeah. So this knowledge you will need it when you go to grade 11 also. So you will not forget today and you will need it in the future, right? Okay. So UNESCO stands for, everybody got it? No, but the U is for United, N for Nations, E for Educational, S for Scientific, C for Cultural, O for Organization. Everybody got it? No, but the everybody understand? And this organization, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural. See, cultural. Culture is there in this. This organization works with other countries to make sure that the cultures or heritages of those countries are protected. Okay. And this organization is a huge organization. Okay. This organization, remember, is a huge organization. This is under United Nations. United Nations or United Nations organization is the biggest organization in the world. Many governments are members of this organization, like 193 countries. We are also a member of this organization. 1 minute. Putha. So UNESCO, this organization called UNESCO, will recommend or will nominate or will select World Heritage Sites or World Cultural Heritage. Like I said before, we were talking about our cultural heritage before, right? And then I also told you that not only our country has cultural heritages, but also other countries also have their own cultural heritages. If anybody asks you about Sri Lanka's cultural heritage, you can tell examples now. Okay, we have tangible heritages. Here the examples for tangible heritages we have. Here's the examples of the intangible heritages we have. You can give examples now. You remember, right? Similarly, you ask an Indian person, a man from India, what is your cultural heritage? He will tell. They also have a lot. So many countries have cultural heritages. And the duty of the UNESCO is to select these very, very important cultural heritages from various countries and make a list and include them into world cultural heritages. Now, what is a world cultural heritage? Okay. Sigiriya, for example. Let me tell you Sigiriya example. Okay, Sigiriya. Let's take Sigiri as a simple example. Is Sigiri our cultural heritage, national heritage? Is it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now, Sigiri is important for Sri Lankans. Yes, correct? Yeah, because we can prove that, you know, Sigiri has a lot of things, okay, to learn. Sigiriya is a Sigiriya, you know, is a palace. Sigiriya is a fortress. Sigiriya is an urban park complex. Sigiriya had water fountains. You know, lot of technology and engineering methods were used in building Sigiriya. Because of that, this knowledge is very important, not only for Sri Lankans, but also for the world, because there is no construction similar to Sigiriya anywhere in the world. Okay. Now take for example, now take a temple. Okay. Take a temple. Do we have temples in Sri Lanka? Only in Sri Lanka we have constructions
No.
like this, like the Dagabas, only in Sri Lanka? No. We
No.
have in Myanmar, we have in Thailand, we have in Indonesia, we have in India, we have in China, Korea, Japan. We have constructions like this in various countries, Vietnam, for example, right? And what is the difference now? Now, Sigiri we don't have anywhere in the world. Okay, now you tell me, if you are in UNESCO, if you are in UNESCO, would you choose a construction like this as important to the whole world, or Sigiri as important to the whole world? Yes, exactly. So UNESCO will choose places like this, very, very important places that cannot be seen anywhere in the world and has very unique technology, architectural creations, and knowledge in constructing these. And they will name it as World Heritage Sites. World Heritage Sites. Okay. So UNESCO, this organization I told you before, has identified 704 World Heritage Sites like this, like Sigiriya, for example. 704 places in the world was recognized by this organization called UNESCO in the world. And out of these 704, 6 of them are in Sri Lanka. We have 6 World Heritage Sites. We have 6 places in Sri Lanka that was chosen by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites. That means this site, these places not only belong to the Sri Lankans, they also belong to the whole world, because they are very important to the whole world, not only Sri Lankans. Okay, they are world property. They are not only Sri Lankan property, because the world can learn so much from them. Not only Sri Lankans can learn so much from these constructions, but also the whole world has a lot of things to learn from these constructions. For example, I took Sigiriya because Sigiriya is one of the most important places that we have in our country. Most of the foreigners who are coming to Sri Lanka, are coming to visit Sigiriya. Okay, Sigiriya is the most visited place in the country. Most tourist visited place in the country is Sigiriya. Okay, so that is a simple example that I took, because that is the best example. That's why I took Sigiriya. So remember, UNESCO is an organization under the United Nations organization. United Nations organization is the biggest organization in the world that has 193 countries as members. UNESCO is another organization under the United Nations organization. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. UNESCO has a duty to protect World Heritage Sites, and UNESCO will choose, this organization called UNESCO will choose and we can say declare World Heritage Sites in the world. There are about 704 World Heritage Sites declared by UNESCO to be very important to the whole world. Sri Lanka has 6 places listed by UNESCO under or as World Heritage Sites. Everybody understand, Budhe? Everybody got the point? Yes? Okay. Any questions? Somebody had a question. Yeah.
Why is it so important when UNESCO World Heritage Site? If it looks like World Heritage Site,
I'm sorry, say again, Budhe. The question is not clear.
why is it so important when UNESCO declares a World Heritage Site?
Okay. UNESCO will not declare everywhere as a World Heritage Site, right? Yeah. To declare a world, I will come to that point, okay, next, okay? To declare a place as a World Heritage Site, that place has to be very unique, very important, meaning that something in that place must be very important to the whole world. Something that is in that place. Like what will come next to that, okay? Right. I was going to answer your question anyway in the next slide, right? Okay. So here we go. Yes, Pude.
So is Siberia
Mm.
one of the world's wonder?
You can say that, yes. Because, you know, one thing I'll tell you, the technology that Sigiriya had used, you know, Sigiriya was built 1500 years ago. Okay. And some of the technologies that we used in building some areas in Sigiriya, even today, scientists have questions. How did they know this 1500 years ago? Something like this. Okay. That means we had a very advanced technology to build a place like Sigiriya even 1500 years ago, because it's a very complicated place. Sigiriya is like a total package. Okay. It has a palace. It is a fortress. It has a park. Okay. It's like a complex, right? It has water fountains, ponds, mirror wall. Yes, exactly. And frescoes or drawings, paintings. So Sigiriya is a total package, right? Sigiriya is a total package. Okay. You have whatever, what do you need in a palace? What do you need? You got that in Sigiriya, right? So that's why it's very unique. That's why it is a World Heritage Site. Yes, because UNESCO understands the importance of Sigiriya not only for the Sri Lankans, but also for the whole world, because many people from anywhere in the world, they have many things to learn from Sigiriya. Okay. Yes. Puthe, any
Excuse
questions?
me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what are exactly fortresses? Because I don't really understand what they are.
Okay. A fortress means, Puthe, it is like a camp, we can say, built to protect a kingdom. Okay. You can see fortress means, Puthe, like it's a construction mainly. So you can, let's say, for example, you have a city here. Okay. You have a city. This is your capital, right? This is your capital of the kingdom. Do you have to protect it?
Yes.
Why? Why do you have to protect it? Because somebody might capture it. Is it? Yes. Of course, yeah, invaders, they come and capture, right? Yeah. So what you do is you build a fortress. You can build a fortress surrounding your city. This fortress will be a huge wall construction. Okay, this is a huge construction. Okay, this is the wall that you see from the top, right? This is from the top. Okay, from the side, it will look something like this. The wall, very high wall, and with watchtowers like this. Have you seen fortresses? Yeah.
Sir, so since
Yes.
Nigiri is a fortress, so the rock is the fortress and the kingdom is
Yeah.
on the
Yes. I come to that. Okay. Yeah. Good. So now a fortress is built to protect a city mainly. Or you can also have fortresses like to protect a military camp, very important military camp, like that. You can build a fortress. Okay. Yeah. Or you can build a fortress to protect the city also. So Sigiriya is a fortress to build to protect the palace, right, of King Kashyapa. Yes. Okay. So in a fortress, you can also build, like, let's say, for example, these are walls, no, very difficult to breach. These are thick walls. And Sigiriya itself is a rock, so it is protected because it's a very tall rock, 240 meters tall. Okay, yeah, if I remember, yes, about 240 meters tall. Very tall rock, difficult to reach the top. And normal, I'm talking about a normal fortress here. In a normal fortress, this wall will be very tall as well, like 20-30 feet, like that. And at the same time, you will build a system of moats. Moats are water drains, like very wide water uh, water canals. They are called moats. Okay, to protect the fortress. Now you have to cross this to reach the wall. So difficult or easy for the enemy? What do you think? Is it easy now to capture the fortress or difficult?
Difficult.
With the moats, yes. So Sigiriya had walls and moats both. Okay, to protect the palace, to protect the place where King Kashyapa lived. Okay, so and not only that, sorry,
Sigiriya is made out of natural rock.
it is a naturally established rock. Yes, nobody built Sigiriya like the rock. The rock was there, but King Kashyapa transformed it to a very well planned urban complex. Okay, this is what's very important. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how come like how come King Kashyapa's builders like build a palace? Like you can't how do they get on a rock like that?
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of it. Yeah. Even the modern day scientists have questions. How did he manage to build something like this so professional, so well planned? Today we have that is what I was discussing before. Today, you see, Bhute, we have a lot of technology, right? Today we can plan a city properly. Today we have a lot of architectural designs or technology, building construction technology. With all that, we can build many things. But 1500 years ago, King Kashyapa built something that is very well planned, because we can't see something like this which is very well planned that was built 1500 years ago in other places in the world. So it is important for us, and also 1 minute, let me finish. It is important for us and also the whole world, because we have Sigiriya, which was built 1500 years ago and has a very well planned structure. Very good technology have been used, and we can't see something similar to Sigiriya in other places in the world, which is 1500 years old. We can see places we built recently, but not 1500 years old, which are very well planned. That is what makes it very unique and important. That is why UNESCO chose it as a World Heritage Site. Everybody got it? Yes?
Excuse me, sir. How
Yeah.
they hook the stone up?
That's a question. Yeah, through a lift, cranes. Today we have cranes to take stuff up, right? How did they
On the
take?
path?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. How did they take? You tell me. You think they build
don't know, sir.
steps? They build steps. They even still today we have a lot of things that are not discovered in Sigiriya. Okay, hidden knowledge. Yeah, exactly. So through steps, yeah, but how? Some say that there was a like a lift system, something like that. Uh, Most of the things are not yet found. Okay, still they're experimenting. Okay, we only can assume, we only can guess this is how they would have done that, because nobody saw, right? Even I didn't see, nobody saw that, how they took the stuff up, right? uh, that is what makes it so special, right? To make a big construction like that at the top. Then what about the water? How did they take the water up? That's the question.
Canals?
How do you take water up without pumps? Yeah,
Rainwater.
Rainwater, okay, Sigiriya is in the dry zone. It doesn't rain often in the dry zone. Okay. So there was a system to take water up. And there were water fountains also to take the water down when it's raining, to take the water down and then to activate the fountains. You know, Vaturamal Kilagan Singali, the water flowers, the water fountains. So Sigiriya is a complete place, right? We have a lot of things to learn about Sigiriya. We'll learn a little more later. But right now our focus is on World Heritage Sites, not Sigiriya itself. Sigiriya is an example here I took. We'll learn more about it later. So like I said before, UNESCO names, UNESCO has a list of World Heritage Sites, and they will choose this list based on the importance of these World Heritage Sites that are there in countries. And how many World Heritage Sites are there according to UNESCO in the world? Anybody?
104.
704. How many of them are in Sri Lanka?
6.
6. And also I want to mention that 15 places out of those 704 are in India, our neighbor. Okay, in India. 15 places are in India. 6 places are in Sri Lanka. We will come to those 6 places next week because we will have to remember the 6 places. Okay, 6 World Heritage Sites in Sri Lanka. Sigiriya is one. Okay, right.
Sir,
Example.
are they
right?
also
Okay.
going to ask that?
Yes, they will. 100%. Okay, in your exam. Yeah. 100% they will ask, name 3, write 3 World Heritage Sites that are named by UNESCO in Sri Lanka. Okay, yes, they will ask. Right, so before we end our session today, we will finish it with a very important part, okay, that is this. How UNESCO will select World Heritage Sites? Or what are the facts? What are the reasons? Or what are the facts that will be considered by UNESCO before selecting a place as a World Heritage Sites? Okay. So what are those? Okay. These are the facts. I chose 4 facts. The book has several facts, but I chose the most important things that is easy for you to remember. Okay. Right. And then I rearrange them. I change the wording because I don't want to use the same word in the textbook because textbook is boring. So I made it a little interesting. I made the words little simple here for you to understand. Okay, right. So what makes any place a World Heritage Site according to UNESCO? What makes a place a World Heritage Site according to UNESCO? These creations, any creation, should show great creative talents or intelligence of the man. If there's a place, if there's a historical place that shows great creative talents and intelligence of the man, like, applying science and technology in building that is gonna be a World Heritage Site. Okay, great creative talents. Sigiriya is a place like that. Intelligence, creative talents, that's there in Sigiriya. Taj Mahal in India is a World Heritage Site. You know Taj Mahal, anybody in India? The Taj Mahal? Yeah? Anybody? Yes? Like a
Yes,
palace,
sir.
but yeah, it is actually, yeah, it's not a palace. It is a burial place. Okay, we call it in English a mausoleum, right? It's a tomb, literally. Yeah, it's a tomb where the king called Shah Jahan's queen is buried. He himself also got buried there. Okay, the dead bodies were buried. So he built it like a palace, very beautiful, very beautiful.
Oh.
The material, let me finish. The material used in building that is very unique. That is a World Heritage Site for that reason. Example, okay. Then Sigiri, of course, yeah. Then there's another. We'll come to that next week in detail. There's another place in China, we call it the Great Wall of China. Great Wall of China is a very long wall, very tall and long wall. That wall is about 3,000 kilometers long. Okay. So there's no other wall that is that long in the world. What do you think now? Is it a World Heritage Site or no? What do you think?
It is.
It is, of course, there is no doubt about it. Because the technology, the amount of planning that is required, the amount of manpower or the effort that is required to make such a huge construction, you cannot imagine that. Okay. So that makes it very important for the whole world, not only the Chinese, right? Okay. So these creations should show great creative talents. It should be very creative. Like the designs must be very beautiful and cannot be seen anywhere in the world. Okay, like that, something like that. Very important. Many people can learn many things from that. And intelligence of the man should be shown because, like using technologies, for example, in Sigiriya, we have water fountains. These water fountains operated based on physics principles, modern scientific principles, modern technology. Modern technology also can be applied there. 1500 years ago, people who built Sigiriya knew this scientific principles, physics principles. That is what makes it a World Heritage Site. That is the intelligence of a man. Okay, right. So you can combine these facts, Pute, to any World Heritage Sites and see why UNESCO has chose this site as a World Heritage Site by comparing these facts. Okay, right. The creation should show the development of a particular culture. Now, if there's any creation that shows an advanced nature of a particular culture, that will be considered as a World Heritage Site. Let me tell you a simple example from Sri Lanka. The ancient city of Anuradhapura. The ancient city of Anuradhapura is a World Heritage Site. Ancient city of Anuradhapura means all the temples, the tanks, the city, the building of the city, the planning of the city, everything top notch, very advanced. Okay. We have the tanks in the city, we have the palace in the city, we have the temples in the city, we have the road system in the city. This whole construction is called the ancient Anuradhapura city. Ancient city of Anuradhapura is a World Heritage Site. Why? Because it reflects the development of a particular culture, that is the Sri Lankan culture. Okay. So that is a fact, right? I took an example here, but you can remember why UNESCO nominates World Heritage Sites based on these facts. Then the third fact here is the creations must be good examples of important events in human history. The creations must be good examples of important events in human history. Have you heard about the pyramids in Egypt? Last year you learned about this, right? Remember the Great Pyramids? Did you?
Yes.
In grade 6? Yes? Yeah, right. Okay. Now tell me. What do you think? Pyramid is a World Heritage Site?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why? Why UNESCO chose it?
Egyptian civilization.
Part of the Egyptian civilization. Okay. Now, is it a good example of important events of human history? What do you think?
Can't be
Yes,
found
sir.
anywhere else in the world.
Okay, pyramids were the tallest constructions of the world at that time. Tallest. There's no other building that was taller than the pyramids in the world. Yes? Okay. So is it an important event in human history? Building tall structures. Yes or no? In human history, it's a very important milestone that we achieved, right? Building very tall structures. No other civilization had built taller structures than the pyramids. So that makes it very unique. That makes it a World Heritage because many people, many other cultures can learn so much from it. So that number 3 factor would have been considered when more other factors are there. But this is also one factor that can be considered by UNESCO to name a place as a World Heritage Site. The creations must be good examples of important events in human history. Okay. Here, in this case, the event is building tall structures, and also the civilization, the Nile Valley civilization or Egyptian civilization. Okay, right. Then these monuments must also be under the danger of getting destroyed due to unavoidable reason. That is also one reason that UNESCO will name it as a World Heritage Site, because they want to protect it. Okay, so some World Heritage Sites might get destroyed. Why? Because of aging. Okay, nobody would want to destroy it, but sometimes some countries have problems, okay, like wars. So there's a danger that these important sites, these important places might get destroyed. But that is avoidable, okay? The war is avoidable, okay? But there are some reasons that are unavoidable, like weather. You can't stop the weather, no Putha, you can't stop the sun and rain. Yeah. Then, for example, you can't stop aging, right? We all grow old, right? Similarly, the constructions also, they also grow old, and they with time they decay, with time they fall apart, right? So places like this, which are very, very important, which are getting destroyed, which has a danger of getting destroyed due to unavoidable reasons, we cannot avoid those reasons, like weather, age. Those things will be also considered by UNESCO when naming the list of, or when selecting the list of World Heritage Sites. Okay, so not all heritage sites are World Heritage Sites. Sri Lanka has many national heritages, but out of that, 6 are selected by UNESCO as the World Heritage Sites. And then India has 15 World Heritage Sites. So these are the factors considered by UNESCO before selecting World Heritage Sites. Okay, those World Heritage Sites should be very unique, very advanced, creative talents must be displayed by man in those constructions, and these creations must be the development of a particular culture, like ancient city of Anuradhapura, like ancient city of Polonnaruwa. We can understand the development of our culture, and these creations must be good examples of important events in human history. And these places also must be kind of, in danger, getting destroyed due to unavoidable reasons. These are some facts considered by UNESCO before they name a place as a World Heritage Site. You have to remember this. You can write them down. You can write this down now and say bye today. Because when you write, you don't forget. So that's gonna be your short note for today. Okay, this part. You can say facts considered when selecting World Heritage Sites by UNESCO, and write the 4 facts here. Okay. Next week, we will talk about more examples for World Heritage Sites. We will talk about ancient city of Mohenjo-daro in Indus Valley civilization. You know, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, they are the 2 important cities of the Indus Valley civilization. You learned in grade 6. And that is a World Heritage Site. Great Wall of China is a World Heritage Site. We will learn about those 2 next week. And then we will jump into the World Heritage Sites in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has 6 World Heritage Sites. Ancient city of Anuradhapura, ancient city of Polonnaruwa, Sigiriya, Galle Fort, Dambulla Cave Temple, and Dalada Maligaon. Those are the 6 World Heritage Sites in Sri Lanka. I just told you, we will remember next week, okay? We will learn next week, right? No problem. So you can write this down and say bye for today. Yeah. Happy? Any questions?
No.
Munsif, okay with it? You okay? Sharvin, Amhar, you look like a cowboy. Amhar, your profile picture. Shahim, you okay with it? Tituli,
Yes.
Uttara,
Is that right, sir?
that's your What is it? Is your profile picture? Yeah, looks like a
I-
cowboy.
I
Uttara, you got
created
good
a
marks, right?
avatar
What did you create it from? Sorry,
from
I
the
can't hear you.
background effect.
Ah, okay, okay, like
From that I
a
created
avatar, right? Avatar.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I also made a cat avatar or something, and then I gave up. I will look like a cat, no, when I'm teaching. Yeah. Uttara, you got good marks, right? Am I correct, Uttara?
Yes, sir.
You sure about it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay, so we will, you can copy this down and take a screenshot, and I will share the dude anyway next week. Okay. You can write it, but better you write it today so you don't forget it. I will put in the group this part. Okay. Yeah. So I will see you next week.
About
Yes, today.
the essay of Vijay Bahudha first.
Sorry?
You should write the essay about Vijay Bahudha
Yeah,
first.
no, I gave you some homework, right? So what you can do the homework and send in the group, okay, for me to check.
Guru.
I will, yeah, you can take a photo of the homework and put it in the group. So I will check and give you feedback, okay? I will correct those work, right? Or you can send it to me also, okay?
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, then I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye. God bless you. Have a good
Bye.
night.
Thank you
See you
so
all
much.
next week.